Well, I'm on the farm today and I've got my Massey Ferguson Model 50 here hooked up to the Vermeer TR90, which is a Lely 300 Combi and Vermeer yellow paint. And this is a tedder and a rake, depending on how you set the tines. In one position, it rakes, and in another position, believe it or not, that much movement, it'll throw the grass just like a tedder, which is what it is. And this thing has these hook tines, which I really believe work. They're not a gimmick. And then the cages on here, when you're throwing the hay with the tines set as they should be, it throws it right into that cage instead of outside, and then that gathers it up. Well, those cages are adjustable, as I have shown in another video. I actually had it set to make a windrow as wide as the pickup on my John Deere round baler. Well, today I've got it pulled in a little bit because we're going to not so much rake this fourth cutting hay out here in our east field. We're gonna kind of fluff it up. It's in pretty good shape, but there's just a little bit of, just an ever so slight bit of dampness on the ground. I want the wind to get into it, so I raked all these windrows together and to form one respectable windrow. I guess they're respectable, and just kind of fluff it up, and then I'm gonna let it set. The wind is blowing pretty good today. It's supposed to get up in the low 80s, and so we're just really early afternoon. We just passed noon here, and so it's dried off enough on the top. The dew's gone on the top and off of the grass, so when I walk through it, I'm not getting water on the toes of my boots. I want to give it a little tedding, but I also want to keep it in the windrows. And so the machine to do that with is this Vermeer TR90, because like I said, it's a tedder and a rake, so it's going to stir that stuff up, put it in these cages, and they'll put it back out as a windrow. And I narrowed it up because I thought it was, if I made a windrow too wide, I may have already said this, but if I make a windrow too wide, then maybe I'll just lose everything in the stubble. So let me get on here and get going. This shouldn't take very long, and then I'll wait a couple hours and see how it feels, and we'll start baling. I've got the John Deere 5055D and the 348 baler down there and a couple of kicker wagons. Not sure I'm gonna have enough here to fill a kicker wagon, but I got a second one just in case. So the way I'm raking this field and using this Vermeer TR90 is I try to put, and I apologize for the wind, but we need it to dry this hay. So I try to put the tractor straddle of the windrow. And what that does, that puts that set of tines on the windrow, and it kicks it over, and then this one kicks it back. And so what I'm doing is I'm not riding on my hay, but moreover, what I'm doing is I'm moving the hay to one side. So you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see, right down through there is where the hay is, and then it kind of shifts over this way a little bit. It's not as effective at merging windrows as the roll bar rake, but if that's the only rake I had, you know, I'd make do with it. So this is getting turned and fluffed. I don't know how you could make a fluffy windrow any better with a one of these roller rakes. I draw a blank sometimes when I'm trying to talk, but these rotary rakes. But in thick hay, we'll have hay, you know, as high as the cages on there. And so if you can get it, this would be an ideal candidate to go behind a V-rake, because if you can get it pulled in and then run over it with this, if there's any roping or, you know, anything like that, you're busting it up, turning it, you're really tedding the hay, but you're keeping it in the windrow. So this is a very effective dry down mechanism for this farm. All right, I have finished tedding and raking this all in one pass with the Vermeer TR90, and that's some gorgeous looking hay in there. I wish I had like a windrow every 10 feet. I mean, that's some fine looking hay right there, top dollar. So the skies are starting to get just a touch hazy. It's supposed to be sunny all day. The weather guessers are saying no rain, but we are making hay. The flags out there are blowing like crazy. We got good wind, and with the sun that we got, this stuff, I'm gonna let it set for about 2 hours and then start baling. And I don't think I'm gonna get many bales. It'll pack real tight, and but I can already see the wind is blowing my windrows around. Nothing new here on this farm, but I just thought I'd drive you up along the perimeter of this field on one side so you can kind of see. You can see that wind is really blowing, but this is a pretty good combo. 1962 Massey Ferguson model 50 diesel, and Vermeer TR90, which is a Lely 300 Combi, and quite an effective tool here on the farm for what we do in these Virginia mountains and small fields. But hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share. We have more videos to come. Talk to you later.